What do Falcons do? Rise up and not learn from past coaching mistakes and not utilize the high-end talent that we drafted in the first round of the last 3 years, even though one of them was hurt. And yada yada, same story, different season, per the words of Grady Jarrett in a nicer form. Welcome to Rise Up Reactions, the show where we talk all things Falcons, NFL, Georgia sports, and in general, the sports news of the day. I'm your host, Dr. Lee Denning, the Golden Hard Doc, and a lifelong sports fan. And guys, usually I will come to you with the stat sheets already prepared. I'll be looking at it on my screen here, and I'll be talking to you about, the stats of the past week. The Falcons just lost to the Minnesota Vikings. Now, if you'd asked me beginning of the season, I would have said, yeah, this is a game that we could lose. With Minnesota being a playoff team last year, with Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, and not knowing what our defense was going to be, yeah, this is a game that we potentially could lose. And that was beginning of the season. Fast forward to about 3 weeks ago, and Justin Jefferson goes on IR, and I'm like, oh, we actually might have a pretty good shot at this one because you're missing your number one wide receiver. And then, follow that up with, Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles. I hate it for the guy. I hate it for both of these. I want to be very clear. I hate it for both of these guys. I don't ever wish injury on anybody. But, we could actually play a Kirk Cousins-less team? Okay. Well, now we probably should win. They're going to have Jaron Hall as a fifth-round rookie quarterback playing the first time this week. And they just traded for Josh Dobbs, who did not take a single snap in practice in the last 5 days with that offense. And they're missing key components on their offensive line. And what do? Well, we get a concussion on Jared Hall in the first series of the game. So he goes out, which is actually probably the worst thing that could have happened to us because he did not look good when he was out there. But there was 0% chance that with no snaps, Josh Dobbs was going to come into this game unless an emergency happened. And what did happen? Josh Dobbs comes in. He immediately gets a safety, which we all think is great. And then he goes backyard football on our butts to the tune of somewhere over 50 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, and just could not contain the right offensive side of the ball when he decided he was going to run. We had opportunities in this game. I'll be very clear. We had opportunities. We were on the freaking 1 yard line and could not punch it in with a team that, again, is built to run the ball. Where's Bijan Robinson? Where's he at? We drafted him number 8 overall. What are we doing with him? He looked like he wasn't there the entire game. Tyler Algier was the favored one the entire game. I have no problem with Tyler. I love Tyler. I'm glad that we have Tyler. I didn't want to get Bijan Robinson in the draft. But you took the number 8 spot with a running back. And it blows my mind because you did have other high-end defensive talent there. You had Jalen Carter. You had not Witherspoon, whoever it was that ended up going to New England, the corner. I can't remember the name, but I just know you had talent on defense there. You had great players. You could have taken Skoronski there and planned to move on from McGarry. You could have done a lot of different things at that position. And you took Bijan Robinson, and you are not using him. This comes back completely to Arthur Smith. We were 7-10 in his first year. At this same time last year, with a significantly worse team on paper at least, we were 4-5. We're 4-5 again with a team that he has had built to his specifications, with a team that he has had drafted to his specifications, and we cannot win. We cannot move the damn ball. We can't run more than 3 yards per carry, and we certainly aren't doing it with Robinson. The turnovers are killing us. Yeah, we had a fumble and then immediate next offensive possession. We had an interception from Heineke. We don't have good quarterback play. Desmond Ridder, I don't know if he would have been better or worse in this situation, but it doesn't really matter because the outcome is the same. We had opportunities to score, and we didn't do it. We were minus Drake London, But they ended up being minus KJ Osborne, some of their stars on the offensive line, Kirk Cousins, and Justin Jefferson. I said it in my pregame analysis. If we don't beat this team, as banged up as they are, we don't deserve to win anything. I have zero confidence with Connor coming back and potentially Kyler Murray coming back that we are going to beat the Arizona Cardinals. They are a pretty good 1-7 team, or 1-6, whatever their record is. They're not a bad team. They just are getting in bad situations. This past week was really bad because they played Clayton too. But with Kyler Murray and even with Josh Dobbs, who we would have played next week if he was still there, we are not doing what we need to do to win. Now, we didn't have Grady Jarrett. He's out for the year. Hate it for him. But he said it best. And I can't say it here because it won't. My video basically won't reach enough people. But same bleep, different season. And I couldn't agree more. It is frustrating being a Falcons fan. This was supposed to be a year where you have the easiest schedule that you're going to have for the next 4 years. Easiest schedule. Looking at it right now, you have the easiest schedule remaining. You are in arguably the weakest division of the entire NFL. And you cannot find a way to win. Arthur Smith, the offensive genius of the Tennessee Titans from 2019-2020, completely falling apart and having no idea what he's doing. I don't know what the heck he's doing, making comments about fantasy football. None of us care about fantasy football right now. We want to win games, Arthur. We want to win. You have had time. We gave you leeway the first 2 seasons because we understood that there were cap situations and that you were locked into certain things. Terry Fontenot, we've given you leeway for the same reason, but none of you have drafted a solid quarterback in the last 3 years. You chose to forego that option in the first round the last 3 years. I'm not saying that was a bad decision. I'm just saying you chose not to do that. And now we are in a situation where you're riding quarterbacks that don't need to be ridden for long. And you are backing the wrong horse. And ultimately, this all comes down to I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of losing. I am frustrated. My wife had to talk me off the ledge yesterday because I was cursing out my mind. Watching the end of this game, watching Josh Dobbs torch us on 4th and long after Bud Dupree has him. Tackling was bad yesterday. Discipline was bad yesterday. And we got beat by a guy who took 0 snaps with this team prior to getting on the field for an injured Jared Hall. This is unexcusable. Heads need to roll for this. I will not be upset if Arthur Blank decides to move on at this point. I don't know what this means for the rest of the season. I have 0 confidence in this team. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a sneak peek. In my pick'em this week, I'm probably picking the Cardinals for no other reason than I want to be wrong about it and get the Falcons on the right track. That is why I will be picking the Cardinals this week for no other reason than I want to try and get the Falcons right with some voodoo magic. I'm mad. All of Falcons Nation's mad. I watched the post-game of Falcoholics. They're mad, rightfully so. I've watched a bunch of other guys talking about it. We all say the same thing. The fan base is all right here in the same boat. It is Arthur Smith is the problem right now. We're not executing, but ultimately that comes back to the head coach. And we haven't been executing for the last 3 years. You still have to put a competitive product on the field every year, and you haven't done that. I am ready to move on. I am ready to just say whatever with this season. I have no confidence in our abilities. I will still be there cheering for our team, and I will still be happy when we win. I will still be cheering for success and wanting us to win. I'll be very careful in saying that. I will be cheering for this team. I am not wanting us to fail. But I do not have any confidence whatsoever in our head coach and the current team. I'm sorry, this is incredibly disheartening. It was disheartening to make. I am frustrated. I tried to hold off until this morning to make the video because I knew that I would say a lot of choice words yesterday. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing and subscribing. Now I have 190 of you guys who've chosen to follow this goober. Don't know why you do, but thank you so much, I mean, who do. I appreciate everything that you're doing for me to help this channel grow. I am trying to hit 500 by the end of the season. I don't think I'm going to do it, but I do hope to do that. Thank you for those of you who have helped me so far. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. We're all sharing in the misery together right now, guys. It's a long road, and we're all sharing this misery together. But thank you, guys, and as always, rise up.